So WWE was in the news, and first of all, one of the news items that people are talking about is that it seems that WWE, according to reports, even though we haven't heard anything being changed, it sounds like WWE is going to be presenting Roman as part of his 1,000-day reign celebration as undisputed champion, mostly Universal Champion. They're going to present him with a new singular belt in place of the two that he's currently holding, a la basically doing what they did back in 2002 with Triple H, and I think repeating the same process, about 13 years later, with, I think it was 14, 15, well no, it wasn't 14, 15, but basically repeating the same process years later in about 2013, 2014, something like that, with Randy Orton. So basically it's a repeat of what they've done twice, but the difference here though, is that they're planning to basically, go more in the direction of what they did in 2002, to where you have two separate world champions on both brands. At least that's what they're hoping for. So that's possible. So that's probably going to happen if things haven't changed tonight. And the question obviously people have is, does this mean the 50-year plus lineage and history of the WWE title goes away? We'll have to see. They might write it into, they might have it in storyline to where Roman Reigns is like, hey, I've dominated as Universal Champion. Nobody's been able to beat me. I'm going to retire this belt. And now I'm going to try to repeat history, once again with the WWE title. I'm going to do it again with the WWE title. So they might do that. We'll see. The other news item that WWE is in the news for is they're making it harder for AEW to book the same venues that they book for their shows. So in other words, basically, if AEW tries to, let's say, book the UBS Arena again in Long Island, which is MJF's hometown, they may not have an easier time booking it than they've had in the past. WWE might say, hey, we're going to book the UBS Arena next month in July. Then we're going to look at the schedule, see what kind of events and everything are in between there, and we're going to choose what dates to book it for a Raw, a SmackDown, a PLE, or a live event, And by doing so, I'm from what I'm getting, the vibes I'm getting is strategically, the plan in doing so would make it hard for AEW to even find a time and a place on a Wednesday, Saturday, or even a live event to try to book that arena, to try to book that venue, thus leaving them with no other choice but to book the smaller venues that, could seat about 5,000 to 10,000 at most. And that's about it. Now, some people, hear this and they're like, oh, that's kind of dirty on WWE's part. That's kind of a low blow. And yeah, it is, but it's also business. It's also business by WWE, because what they're doing is they're essentially telling AEW, they're telling Impact, they're telling any wrestling promotion, here in North America or around the world, that they are still the be-all, end-all when it comes to pro wrestling and sports entertainment, and people just have to learn to live with it. And if that means basically, hey, we're going to book, the Golden One Center once, not just once, but 3 times a year, once for SmackDown, once for Raw, and once for a PLE, and we're going to do it in a way that prevents AEW from even sniffing an opportunity to get in there, then so be it. They will do that. The same with the Chase Center in San Francisco, where I think they had Revolution this year. The same thing. Hey, we're going to book the Chase Center for this date for Raw. We're going to book it for this date for SmackDown. And we're going to book it for this date for a PLE. They'll do that basically to prevent AEW from getting in, from even sniffing an opportunity. Now you might say, well, how can they do that? It's real simple. They're going to look just like any entertainment company or sports company. They're going to look at the schedule and see what openings are there that they can fill in. To put their show on, or the various shows. They're going to look, at what slots they can get, and if they do it in the way I'm thinking, if they do it in the way I'm thinking, they're basically, again, making it hard for AEW to even try to get an opening for their shows. So yeah, people might consider it a low blow and dirty by WWE in doing so. But again, it's all about business. In the business of basically still letting the world know, hey, we're the be-all, end-all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. And whether you like us or you don't, you're just going to have to live with it and acknowledge it. So that's basically what's going on with WWE in the news right now. But let me know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on the presentation to Roman of a singular championship belt in place of the two he has? As well as, do you think that it'll mean the end? Do you think it'll mean the end of the 50-year plus history of the WWE title or not? Or do you think it means the end of the Universal title? And also, let me know what your thoughts are on WWE making it harder for AEW to book venues, or the same venues that they book, more so than they ever have. Let me know down below in the comments. Love the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. And until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later.